What if I told you that hidden agendas, cover-ups, and secret operations have not only existed in history, but have been proven true? We live in a world full of whispers. Flat Earth, secret societies, alien technology, and shadow governments. Most of them sound absurd. Most of them collapse under the weight of logic and evidence, but not all of them do. And those are the ones we must take seriously. Today, we dive deep into the world of conspiracy theories. We'll ask the hardest question: how do you know if a conspiracy theory might actually be true? Welcome to Lazy Animal. Sit back and relax, and I will tell you a story. Let's dive right into today's video. When you hear a wild claim, NASA faked a moon landing, the CIA controls the weather, the first instinct is to laugh. And often you should, because the human brain is wired to see patterns even when none exist. But there might be one simple way to roughly filter what could be true and what is not. Here's the key: follow the money. If a conspiracy offers no financial gain, no political advantage, no resource control, then it's almost certainly fiction. Take the flat Earth theory. Ask yourself, who benefits if the Earth is flat? Governments would have to spend billions faking satellites, editing photos, and silencing thousands of scientists across decades. For what purpose? There's no gain, only endless cost, which makes it laughably unlikely. But 9/11? That's different. Whether or not you believe the official story, the aftermath was undeniable. Wars were launched, oil fields secured. The military-industrial complex profited in the trillions. Here, motive exists: money, power, control. Some conspiracies that once sounded insane later proved real. MK Ultra. For decades, people whispered that the CIA was experimenting with mind control, dosing citizens with LSD without their knowledge. It sounded like pure science fiction, until it was declassified, until victims came forward, until documents confirmed it. It was real. Operation Northwoods in the 1960s. US officials proposed faking terrorist attacks on American soil, hijackings, and bombings to justify a war with Cuba. The plan was never executed, but the documents exist. Your government considered staging violence against its own people. The Tuskegee experiment. For 40 years, a US public health service withheld treatment from black men with syphilis just to study the disease's progression. The government knowingly let people suffer and die. A conspiracy proven by history. These aren't theories, they're facts. And once you know they happened, the line between paranoia and possibility becomes much thinner. There's a psychological trap inside conspiracies. The deeper you go, the more every coincidence feels like proof. Every unanswered question feels like confirmation. You start to feel special, like you see the truth others can't. That's how someone drifts from healthy skepticism to wearing a tinfoil hat. But there's a difference between blind belief and rational suspicion. The trick is balance. Ask yourself, who benefits if this is true? Who gains power, resources, or control? If the answer is no one, it's almost certainly false. Take the moon landing. Millions believe it was staged in a Hollywood studio, but again ask, who benefits from faking it? The answer: America. The Cold War was a battle of prestige, and putting a man on the moon humiliated the Soviets. Could the US have faked it? Perhaps. Would it have been worth the risk? Maybe, but here's the catch. Faking decades of lunar missions, photographs, and space science would eventually collapse. Yet the technology developed during Apollo has stood the test of time. That makes the moon landing more likely true, even if the political motive existed. When people hear the words conspiracy theory, the very first image that comes to mind is often Area 51, a lonely patch of desert in Nevada, surrounded by fences, warning signs, and stories of flying saucers. For decades, its existence wasn't even acknowledged by the US government, which only fueled the fire. Why does this place fascinate us so deeply? Because at the core lies the most tantalizing idea of all: aliens. The possibility that hidden inside those hangars is technology not of this earth, and the human imagination loves a mystery. The stigma of believing in aliens once branded you as a dreamer or a fool. But what if the laughter was part of the cover? What if the truth was stranger than fiction? But let's look at Area 51 from another angle. Forget little green men for a moment. Imagine instead that the US had access to advanced technology, whether recovered, reverse engineered, or developed in secret, aircraft decades ahead of their time. Weapons the world had never seen, the ultimate edge in global power. Would they announce it publicly? Of course not, because the greatest advantage in war is surprise. There's a principle in intelligence: never reveal what you know. But even more importantly, never reveal what you don't know. If America admitted the limits of its technology, it would show weakness. If they confessed exactly what they were testing, rival nations would instantly know what not to fear and what to exploit. Silence is not just secrecy, silence is strategy. So when people ask, why won't the government just tell us the truth about Area 51? The answer might be simple: the truth is too valuable. Whether it's alien spacecraft, stealth bombers, or something else entirely, the mystery itself is part of the weapon. Because if your enemy doesn't know what you're capable of, they must assume you're capable of anything. That is why Area 51 endures as the crown jewel of conspiracy theories and will probably never die. Not only because it could hide evidence of extraterrestrial life, but because the very act of denial is a powerful tool of control. The reason conspiracies matter is simple. When real, they change history. Wars, revolutions, economies, all can be manipulated by secrets behind closed doors. Consider Watergate, a political conspiracy that forced a president to resign. The Iran-Contra affair, the US secretly selling weapons to Iran while funding rebels in Nicaragua directly against their own laws. Big tobacco. For decades, cigarette companies knew their products caused cancer, yet they buried the evidence, paid off scientists, and silenced whistleblowers. These are verified conspiracies, which means it's not crazy to suspect that some modern claims may hold truth as well. The real danger isn't conspiracies themselves, it's blind belief. When people abandon logic, they become vulnerable. Movements form. Violence erupts. History is full of examples where false conspiracies cause real destruction. But the opposite is also dangerous. Believing nothing. Governments and corporations do hide truths. If you dismiss everything as madness, you'll never see the lies that matter. In the end, conspiracy theories test our ability to think critically, to question authority without losing grip on reality, to ask not just what if, but why, who, and how. Because sometimes the craziest theories are true, and sometimes the truth is crazier than the theory. And remember, money, power, and resources are key to filter fact from fiction. Thank you for watching, and feel welcome to check out our other videos where we discuss current philosophical topics. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you next week.